The main suspect in Anna Kepner's demise, her stepbrother, is now claiming he doesn't remember anything. Yeah.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal.
What's up? So there's a heartbreaking update in the demise of 18-year-old Anna Kepner, the woman, of course, that was found unalive on the Carnival cruise. Okay, she was stuffed underneath the bed and all that. And of course, the more we learn about this particular case, the more confusing and disturbing this whole situation gets, okay? So Anna was on this 6-day Carnival cruise, okay, with her blended family when she was discovered in her cabin. Like I said before, wrapped in a blanket, covered in life vests, okay? Investigators later ruled her cause of demise as if somebody held a bar or their arm across her neck, okay? Now, her 16-year-old stepbrother was identified as a suspect almost immediately, all right? And now the grandmother, her own grandmother, now is speaking out. Now, she went on to Good Morning America, and she had some things to say. Now, I'm going to be honest, okay? Let me just be completely real with y'all. She claims that when investigators, we're going to get straight to the point, when the investigators said, or when the investigators were interrogating the 16-year-old stepbrother, that he was obviously in hysterics, he was an emotional mess, but he also said that he didn't remember what happened in that room. Now, let me remind you guys really quick. According to what we've been hearing, she also has another brother, all right? A 14-year-old, if I'm correct. Apparently, that 14-year-old brother said that 16-year-old stepbrother and Anna were fighting in that room, in that cabin, by themselves. The door was closed. He came running to the door, trying to get into the door or get into the room, and the 16-year-old stepbrother basically told him to kick rocks. Now, of course, later, she is found unalive, under a bed, wrapped in blankets, and all the other details I just said to you guys, okay? And of course, now, the only other person that was in the room with her at that time was the 16-year-old stepbrother. So, of course, there's a lot of questions on what's going on. Obviously, they say that she was not SA'd. There was nothing else that was tampered with her, okay? There was no substances in her system as well. This is the only thing that took her out. And the last person to be in the room with her, according to many people who have been reporting and talking about this, is the stepbrother. And he also has a very dark and dangerous, obviously now deadly, obsession with this young woman. Now, we all want to know what exactly happened here. We all want to understand why this went down. But again, it just doesn't make any sense that, one, he hasn't been detained yet, and two, he's sitting here saying that he doesn't remember what happened. First of all, in my mind, my gut reaction, I'm going to be real, just being completely real. You can miss me with the nonsense. Oh, I don't suddenly remember? Now, obviously, parts of me sit there and say, hey, aside from my guttural reaction, which is miss me with the nonsense, but there's another part of me that makes me instantly wonder, was this blind rage? Did he suddenly just check out? Or is he just lying his ass off right now? That's the part that I'm leaning on, that he's just lying. We already know that he has mental health issues. He has a history of mental health issues and all that. And we're going to hear from the grandmother in this exclusive interview talk about how he has demons. Okay, he has demons in his past, right? And that he's dealing with them and everything. But what kind of demons are we talking about? Is it the kind where he checks out, right? Is this some sort of personality disorder of some sort? Some schizophrenia where he, you know what I mean? What is going on here, right? Where he would just suddenly, possibly, at least on what he claims, possibly not remember what actually happened in the room. Could it be a mental health issue as far as something as serious as, I don't know, some sort of dissociative disorder, bipolar, schizophrenia, and the slew of other possibilities of other mental health issues? Or is he just lying through his teeth? That is the question I have for you guys. We got to get into this video. Let us rock and roll straight into this.
Parents of 18-year-old Anna Kepner, who died on a Carnival Horizon cruise ship earlier this month, breaking their silence.
I just screamed. I couldn't stop screaming.
Barbara and Jeffrey Kepner were on board the 7-day cruise in the Caribbean with their son, his wife, and their grandchildren, enjoying time as a family. Anna staying with her brother and stepbrother in a stateroom, seen here.
Do you remember the last time that you saw Anna?
We had dinner. Anna wasn't feeling well. She just said, Mima, I think I'm going to go back to my room for a little bit. And she must have felt better because she got dressed up and she came down. We were playing in the casino. She didn't win anything, and she said, Mima, I love you guys. I'll see you later. And we never saw her again after that.
Now, of course, obviously, you know, a lot can happen after she left. Between the time that she left the casino, saying bye to Mima and going to her room, right? But obviously, the real problems and the real ish that went down happened inside that cabin. So it's not like she just randomly ran into some rando on the cruise, and then that person was, I don't know, became fixated with her and went to that room. No, it was the 16-year-old boy that was last seen in that room. Just a quick reminder.
The next morning, an announcement over the ship's broadcast system changed everything.
They called for a medical alert team to go to a stateroom. And when they said the number, I recognized the number immediately. The room steward that was going in to clean the room is the one that found her.
She was found concealed under the bed. I was told that she pulled back the mattress and found Anna.
What did the FBI say was the official?
Pulled back the mattress. I'm going to have to roll that back a tiny bit, but that's just absolutely crazy. Imagine being in that room, trying to clean the room, and then suddenly bang. You know what I mean? You find an 18-year-old girl wrapped up in, it's just very disturbing, y'all.
Anna.
What did the FBI say was the official cause of death?
The FBI contacted my son and family and told us our cause of death was asphyxiation.
Anna's grandmother said one possibility they're considering, whether it was caused by a so-called bar hold, an arm across the neck.
You take the elbow like this. They said when they took her body to the medical examiner's office, it was in perfect condition.
Kepner telling ABC News they were told their granddaughter's body showed no signs of sexual assault or drugs or alcohol in her system. In an unrelated custody dispute, Anna's stepmother calling Anna's stepbrother, who is a minor, a suspect in Anna's death.
Do you think he had anything to do with Anna's death?
I mean, he was in a room with her. He was the only one seen coming and going. So
Yep.
I can't accuse him because I don't know what happened in that room. But the summation would be that he did something.
I mean, clearly. I mean, unless they're able to prove something else. And also, you got to remember, security cam footage, all that. They're saying that they didn't see, she walked in that room and she didn't come back out. Now, obviously, if there was somebody suspicious, like a suspicious person that walked in that room after she walked in that room that was not the stepbrother, I mean, it would be a dead giveaway, right? That would be a dead giveaway of someone other than the stepbrother doing something bad. This clearly is the stepbrother, but why is the stepbrother still out here breathing in this freedom air, y'all?
And has he said anything to you about what happened?
I heard him, in his own words, say he does not remember what happened.
Anna's grandmother says she sat in on a portion of the stepbrother's interview with the FBI.
He was an emotional mess. He couldn't even speak. He couldn't believe what had happened.
So he is sitting here crying his eyes out, right? Is he scared that he got caught? Could it be that situation? Again, is this a situation where he just basically checked out, he blacked out, and the rage was so overwhelming that he doesn't remember what he did? Maybe he disconnected his mind, his consciousness went somewhere else while his body was doing something else. That's possible as well. But the fact that he's sitting here saying that he doesn't remember anything, I don't know. I don't know about all that. But again, I'd like to know what kind of mental health issues he has in the first place, because when she says in a little bit that he has demons, that's one of the things I want to know. What kind of demons are we talking about? And again, I keep saying this, if he has a history of problems with her, you have a ex-boyfriend, you have Anna herself stepping up to the family, asking for help because this kid is being too much, all right? SHing her, okay? And all that stuff. There were full-on breadcrumbs. There were full-on warning signs, and they were ignored. That's the problem. That's the whole problem here. Now, with the grandmother, we'll talk about that in just a minute.
Anna's grandparents say she and her stepbrother were close.
They were just like brother and sister.
What else could you tell me about him?
Huh?
That he was a good student.
Of course.
Played soccer.
He played soccer, very quiet young man. He had demons, I think, in his past, and he was trying to deal with those.
Okay. So clearly he has demons still now, all right? The demons have not gone. The past is still with him, all right? It's still present. The demons are present, okay? But here's the thing. We always hear about the, he was very quiet, keeps to himself type story. Have we heard that a multitude of times? It feels like that's the, a tale as old as time. You know what I mean? I feel like that's part of something that we hear all the mother-loving time. But then also on top of that, how would the grandma know? How would Mima know about like everything? You know, for a fact, sometimes families keep those kinds of things, that kind of information. If he was, being aggressive, walking around with a big knife and all that stuff, that kind of information may have been held from the grandparents. That's possible. They're like, we're going to keep this internal. We're going to handle this internally, right? But what's sad about this is that they didn't do anything about it. Like I said, full on heads up, full on warning signs that were constantly batted down, ignored by the likes of Anna Kepner and her ex-boyfriend as well, who actually saw this stepbrother do unthinkable, disgusting things trying to get with her. That's messed up, y'all. So again, I get the grandmother and the grandparents saying things, what they're saying right now, for what they know. But there's a lot of information that can be withheld within a family, right? Because like I said, grandma is on the outskirts. She's not she's not in the family like that, all up in their business. But again, he has demons from his past. Those demons are still present, clearly, okay? Clearly.
Anna's stepbrother has not been arrested or charged with the crime. Attorneys for both the stepbrother's parents did not respond to ABC's request for comment. The FBI and medical examiner's office also declined to comment. Anna's family focused now on honoring their granddaughter, a high school senior and straight-A student who planned to join the military.
She had purpose. She wanted to do things. And this little tiny 110-pound girl, she was mighty, very mighty.
We were looking forward
had
to
a
seeing her
job.
grow.
What do you hope for now in this moment for your family?
I hope that we can heal. Whatever happened in that room, the only person responsible is the person that was in the room with Anna.
Damn right. 110%. The only person that did this, the only person that's responsible for taking the life of Anna Kepner is the person that was in that room with her. And guess who that person is? The 16-year-old stepbrother. All right? Now, again, he has been identified as a suspect, again, almost immediately because he was the last person in that room. There were fights going on, loud noises, apparently things moving around in that room, according to her brother. And then she's found gone. She was in that room with that stepbrother by herself, having a loud physical argument with this kid. It's easy math, y'all. It is easy math. But I still want to know, why is it taking so doggone long to take him in? Now, I get it. He's 16 years old. But that shouldn't be the only reason. That shouldn't be the reason, okay? They have arrested younger kids for even the same amount of egregious acts to even lesser acts, okay, of violence. So I'd like to know, what's going on here and why hasn't this guy been brought in? Now, I get it. When it comes to Mima and the grandfather and all that, let's be real, okay? Never underestimate the power of denial, right? She's sitting there going, I hope, you know, we need time to heal and all that. I don't know if this is a situation that a family could ever really fully come back 100% from, okay? Because at the end of the day, what's coming very soon, which I hope is coming very soon, you're going to have a 16-year-old stepbrother being thrown in jail, being thrown in prison, convicted of taking the life of this 18-year-old woman, this 18-year-old very young woman, okay? And that situation is going to be the thing that really tears apart an already very blended, complicatedly blended family to begin with. So again, I just, it's very interesting. Again, the parents need to be looked at as well. All right. Because you look at what's going on here. Those warning signs were ignored. This gives me Crumbly vibes, the Ethan Crumbly situation, where there's enough warning signs, but they just ignore it. They pass it over like, oh, it'll be fine. He's just going through a growing phase or whatever. This is the bad part, and this is the sad part about how families or parents just deny until something tragically unexpected happens. The breadcrumbs are there. The warning signs are there. Why were they ignored? But anyway, guys, that's the video. Comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Of course, I'm waiting for the arrest, just like everybody else. It's inevitable. It's only a matter of time. I just hope that they speed up the process. Let's get justice for Anna. Comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Hit that like button down below. Crush that subscribe button. And we'll be talking here soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.